everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make this trio of dangling lighted stars that I made from Dollar Tree supplies. Alright everyone, as you can see I don't have very many items on my desk for this particular craft, so let's get to it. I've got this star that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. It has sort of a three-dimensional effect to it, and it kind of goes in here and through the back. I'm going to use two of these for each one of my stars that I'm going to be doing. This, I found it in a kind of a gold, a little bit silvery tone. If you don't want it in that color, then get yourself some spray paint so that you can spray them the color that you want. Now, I got these lights also at the Dollar Tree. It is a 20 count clear lights. It does say it is for indoor use only, so you want to make sure that this is going to be inside of your home or in a well covered area. I'm going to be putting this in my front porch by my door, and it is covered, so I'm going to be using this, and it is basically for the purpose of the video. But if you're going to put this anywhere where it's going to be outdoors in the elements, any rain might hit it, you want to make sure you get outdoor lights. I don't know, or at least I did not find any outdoor lights at the Dollar Tree, but you certainly can find some at Walmart, like Dollar General, stores like that. Okay, so for my tools, I'm going to be using a glue gun. I've got my glue sticks. You can choose not to glue anything at all and just completely leave that out. So then all you will need is some floral wire, or just some thin wire. I've got a 26 gauge wire here. You can use a 24. You want something thin so that it won't show on here when you wire down your lights. And of course, I've got some little wire cutters, just some simple little wire colors. And that is it, everyone. Let's get to crafting. Alright, another thing is my stars. They have the little price tag hanging off of here, so there's a little hole that was made there so that they could put a little string and the tag. So I'm going to keep these two little holes up at the top, so that'll be my little guide to tell me, you know, it doesn't really matter, but it's just in case you needed to put some little wire through there. If you want to hang them on a wall or something, then you'll have that. I'm going to be hanging them from the actual cord that will be sticking out, but if you want to make sure that, you know, that's not going to be any kind of a danger, then you can put some wire through here. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be cutting some little pieces of wire. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's about 4 or 5 inches of wire. Just cut a bunch of little pieces. You can start off with a few and then cut some more as you need them. Okay, let's go ahead and just get started. I'm going to take this string of lights. This is the plug inside, so I'm going to pull that over. I'm going to turn this around. I've got the little hole right there, by the way, that the tags were in. There was a little string here, so I'm going to make sure I have that little hole facing upward, or the top of the star. This will be it. Now here it is where it kind of goes in like a little basket. So all our lights are actually going to be going in there. But I'm going to take this very first light, right where this cord goes up, and I'm going to go as close as I can to the top here. And I'm going to wire this through these little bits of the star. So this is why I wanted them little thin wire. So I'm going to put it through from the front towards this being the back, and then get the light as close to the wire as I can. And this is where I'm just going to tie them down. And then whatever ends, if you have too much, go ahead and snip them off with your wire cutters. Let's get those in there. And then I'm just going to take the tip. These are little pliers that have wire cutters on them, so they're very handy. And I'm just going to roll that little ends of the wire so they're not poking upward, so when I'm moving my hands around here I don't accidentally poke myself, because then, you know, they're going to have a lot of bleeding going on, and we don't want that. So just safety first. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to be tying these down at certain points. Like this one can be up here, and then I can tie this down so it doesn't move, and I can go along the shape of my star, and then whatever's left over, just kind of bring it to the middle. So that's what I'm going to do. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of wire, because I've already done one here. So I have about 10 areas where I want to tie it down for sure. So I need another 6 of these little wire bits. So that's what I'm going to end up cutting. Okay, but let's keep going with this. Okay, so I've come to almost the very last part of the wiring of my lights, and I'm going to cut one more piece here of wire. Okay, so I have this bit still left, and I really only have upward to go on here because I've gone up and down and so forth all the way around. And all of these that are sticking outward, I'm just going to push them in when I get my other lights on here. Okay, so this is the string that goes up, and it's going to be hanging from here. So then we just need to finish just one light here, and then we'll bring these back, and then we'll just curl them up in here in the middle of the star. Okay, so let's just get a little piece of wire right there somewhere to grab on. And that's really basically all we need to do. I'm just going to cut these little ends here, curl them in. Okay. And these can just rest in here in the middle. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking my hot glue gun, and I'm going to be placing glue on the edge here, so that when I place my other star, and I'm looking for where it has that little hole, right? You see that little hole right there? I don't know if you see it. I'm putting it at different angles to see where you can see it best. But there's a little hole right there. And that is where, again, that was where the tag was that I took off. So that's where it was hanging from. It doesn't have it on the other points in the star. It just has it right there. And this is what I'm using for the top of my star, so that if I want to run some wire through here and hang it from the wire instead of the cord, I can do so. And plus, this little part here is not going to get glued down. It's only going to be the rest of my star. But I'm going to do a section at a time. Now, if you prefer not to use, let me go ahead and put this up a little bit, my camera. So if you prefer not to use hot glue gun to put them together, you can cut more of these little wire bits. And then when you're putting it on top, make sure all your lights are inside. Just push them inward. And then you can just take wire and run it through here around the other side, and then tie up what would be the back. And I know that this is the back because that's where I have all the other little wire bits of my star. You can't really see them. They're so thin. So if they dangle around, you're not even going to be able to tell that those little wires are there. So you could go ahead and just wire them shut at different spots, and that'll keep it all nice and put together. And then if these lights happen to go out, because they're just from the Dollar Tree, they're inexpensive lights, they could go out at any time, and then you could just unwire them, remove the lights, put some more lights in there, wire them back up. You would even have to just maybe just unwire from a little small area and just pull them out, because you could go through the back and snip them with scissors or wire cutter. You know, that little wire's thin enough, you can just do that. So it would be no big deal. I'm going to hot glue it together because it's just how I roll. I just want to use my hot glue gun. But I'm going to see how well that works. If not, I'm going to end up wiring it together. So I just want to make sure that this is my top part. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a little piece of wire, well, long enough, so that I can run it through these two little holes. And that'll help me kind of keep it together so it doesn't kind of, well, it'll still kind of roll around a little bit on me, but this will kind of keep it together where it should be aligned. So I'm going to get this and get it on there nice and tight, and then just push those upward. Okay, so then I can just reach in there, push the lights inward, and then I know that I can go ahead and glue. And I'm going to start gluing right here because that light keeps wanting to pop out, where everywhere else it seems like the lights are behaving just fine. Okay, so I can just move it over just a bit, and I'm going to hot glue. Okay, so just hold it. Oh, that works just fine. Okay, so now I'm going to put some hot glue at this little edge over here. And then I can shut those together. Make it super easy on myself. Once that's sealed, I can move along, and I'll do this side, and then I'll do these other two and a little bit on the top one over here. Okay, so I'll just keep hot gluing, and I don't have to hot glue every little edge of it, just in certain points, just like if you had wired it down. Now I like to take things apart and reuse them, so using my hot glue gun is really good because I can pull this apart. But if you wire it, you can definitely pull them apart if you want to recycle these stars, you know, for something else next year. Say you say, okay, well, I'm done with these stars, this theme, I'm done with that, I want to do something else. Then if you wire them, you can definitely take them apart a lot easier. Okay. Of course, a hot glue gun, you know, does tend to, especially when it's in the outdoors, in the weather, the cold and the heat, it does tend to break apart the hot glue, and it doesn't keep things. So if you want to have these a little more permanent, then I suggest you use an E6000 or a super glue. Alright everyone, I have glued my star together. I've actually even removed the wire that was holding this edge here together. And I put a little bit of glue on one side. Now I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other. And just seal it. I'm making sure that I don't put it like too close to the tip because the wire is now like really close to the edges here. And I don't want to get any hot glue on my wire, just in case, you know, just for safety reasons. This, you want to make sure also that when you grab your stars that they're, you know, they're nice and straight, that they're not bent, because I did have a faulty one. This one right here had a bit of a bent edge here, and I can't straighten it, so it just wants to pop open on me. It won't stay glued, this one little end, but I'm not going to worry about it because I do have all the other parts that are gluing down just fine. Or maybe I just need to hold it a little bit longer, maybe get some wire, like the piece that I just took off somewhere else, and then just kind of put it through there, wire that down, maybe even use a clothespin to kind of hold it down, just to make sure that that glue dries, and hopefully it won't pop open on me anymore. Alright, so there's my stars all put together, and as I mentioned at the beginning, I am making a trio of stars. So I said for each star that you're going to make, you're going to need 2 of these. So I actually got 6 of them. So I just need to make my other 2 stars and turn them on. Look how cute that looks. We're going to see this all finished with the lights off so that you can get a nice idea of what this looks like. I think you can see the lights through there anyway, and if I turn them off, see how the difference? That is off and now they're on. So you can see the difference right now, and look how sparkly that looks. Now you could take your stars and you could decorate them any which way you want. You can have some jingle bells hanging off of here, so when they move around, maybe dangling, they'll do some little sounds. Or you could put a bow up here, maybe some poinsettias, or, you know, little branches coming off the top if you wanted, or just decorate something here in the middle, put a little ornament on there. I'm going to leave mine plain and simple because I think they look really nice. So let me make my other 2, and then I'll have my trio, and then I'll show you the final results. Well, alright everyone, here it is, my 3 completed stars, and it was very easy to do. It only took me about 30 minutes to put it all together. If you're wondering how I hung them up above the frame of my chalkboard, I've got 3 cup holder hooks. So I've got 1, 2, 3 over each one of these, and then I have a cord running up the side of the chalkboard that runs across, and it has for 3 plugins. So I plugged them all in, and then what I did is I hooked each one over each hook, and then I kind of twirled it to kind of bring it a little bit higher, so they all had a different height. You can hang them however you want, but that's just how I did it in case you're curious. These will go outside on my front door, under my porch. I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to have the hooks up into the ceiling rather than on the wall because I have a brick wall out there. So, but I'm going to have my husband do that for me. But this is what it looks like right now. I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial, and I hope that you will do it too. Like I said, you can decorate these any way you want. Paint them another color. It dawned on me that I should have spray painted them black and then maybe used like a white chalk paint over them and then scratched them up a little bit to bring out the black underneath and give them that farmhouse look. But either way, I think they look terrific, and I hope that you will too. So I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. Make sure to give me a big old thumbs up. It's really important that I get those likes and that you're viewing my videos. And make sure you leave a nice comment down below, everyone. Thank you, everyone who has been subscribing. Thank you for watching my older videos as well. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I put videos every Tuesday and every Friday. And once in a while, I have a weekend vlog. Don't forget to share on your social medias. And as always, enjoy.